Hello and welcome to another tutorial on my channel, Create by Kay. The yarn I'm using today is from this brand. And the color is light blue. My hook is 3.5 millimeter. I make my slip knot, and now I chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. What I do next is I go with my hook in each chain and I will make a loop and keep that loop on my hook. I already have the loop from this chain, the first chain. All I need to do is to go to the second chain, grab the yarn and make a loop. Then I just do something like this to make sure they are the same height. And I go to the next chain and I repeat. I make the loop, go with my fingers right there and do something like this to make sure they are the same height, and then this finger I go there to keep the loop in the same height. If I don't do that, when I go to the next one, it's gonna be short. So all the time I go with my finger right there and then I move to the next chain and make the loop. Then I move my finger and I go with the hook to the next chain and make the loop. And like this in each chain. Now I have 9 loops on my hook. How many chains you make, that's many loops you will have on your hook. Now to close row 1, what I do is I grab the yarn and I pull through the first 2 loops. Then pull through the next one and the next one. And something else, this loop from the hook, I make sure it's not too tight. If it's too tight, it's hard for me to go right there and make the loops. So I like them just a little bit loose. Like to be loose, and then I grab the yarn and it's easier to pull the yarn. And I go like this and I grab the next loop and the next loop from my hook. And I'm done with row 1. For row 2, make this loop a little bit longer. Then right here is a space between this loop and the other one. This stitch and the other one is a space. So I go right there and make a loop like this. Next, I go with the yarn on my hook like this, go with my fingers right there, then I go back in this space and I doing like this, and then I grab the yarn and I pull through and make a long loop. And now right here I have 3 loops. Now to the next one. Again, this is 1 stitch and that the next one is a space right there. I go and I grab the yarn and pull through. Then I go with my hook like this to look. The yarn is gonna look like this on my hook. Go with my finger to keep the yarn like that, and then I come back on this space, then come back from the other space. Then I grab the yarn like this. Now like this, my hook go like this, and I grab the yarn and I pull through right there. I keep my finger, this finger, right there on the yarn all the time, and then I make a loop. And again I have 3 loops, and I will repeat in the space, make a loop, then the yarn like this on my hook, go with my finger to keep the yarn all the time, go back on that space, then the next space, and the yarn in this way, and make the loop. And I repeat. And the last one, I go between and make a loop, then the yarn like this on my hook. And now what I do is, instead to go right here and then come back how I did to the other ones, what I do is I have one loop and another one, go this to this loop, see there is one right there, and then I grab the other one from the back and I make the loop right there. Okay, and now to close, I grab the yarn and I pull through the first 3 loops, then grab the yarn again and pull through the next 3 loops, and then pull through the next 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and the last one, like this. And this is row 2. For row 3, I make this loop a little bit longer. Then I skip this one and then the next 3. Between the 3 and the next 3 is a space, so I go right there and make a loop. Then between the next 3 and the other 3 is a space, and again I go there and make a loop. The space, I make a loop. So I do like this in each space between the first 3 loops and the next 3 loops. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 9. We start with 9 loops, so I need 9 loops on my hook. So what I do right here is I go on this loop and then to the other one, exactly how I did on row 2. I skipped that loop and then to that loop right there I went, and then the one from the back, and make a loop. To close row 3, I do how I did on row 1. Actually is row 1, but instead of the chains I went to the spaces. I grab the yarn and pull through the first 2 loops, pull through the next 1 loop, the next one, the next one, until I'm done with all of them. And now I go and I repeat a row 2. Make this loop a little bit longer. Between this stitch and the next one is a space, so I go with my hook and make a loop. The yarn like this on my hook. Go with my finger to keep the yarn like that on my hook. Go back on the space right there, and then the next space. Grab the yarn like this with my hook, and I make a long loop. I have 3 loops right there. Now I move to the next space. Go on the next space, make the loop, then the yarn like this, go back, and to the next one, grab the yarn, make the long loop. I move to the next space with the loop, the yarn like this on my hook, go back in the same space, and the next space, grab the yarn, make a loop, and like this in each space. And to the last one is the space right there. I go and make the loop first, then I go like this with my hook, or the yarn on my hook, then I skip this loop, and the next one I go, then I take the other one from the back and make a loop right there. And now I close, pull through the first 3, the next 3, again the 3, again the next 3, the 3, and I have 1, and pull through the 1. And now I go and I repeat row 2, and then when I'm done with row 2, I go back to row 3, and again to row 2 and 3. Thank you for watching.